that, to learn his true name, a name that can never be taken from him. That deep heart knowledge comes only through a process of initiation. You have to know where you've come from. You have to have faced the series of trials that test you. You have to have taken a journey, and you have to have faced your enemy. And so I believe that in Matti's short life, he did take a journey, and he did face his enemies, and that he knew who he was. And so that's why I decided to write this. My name is Matthias Nicola Martin, but people call me Matti. I am the son of Rana and Blair Martin, the grandson of Joanne and Carol Martin, and Dolores and John Lindemann. I am a little brother to my oldest sister, Deanne, letting me gallop Rose around bareback and stand up on my mini horse. She let me be a true cowboy and gave the bestest hugs. I am a younger brother to Josiah, my biggest role model, best bud, adventurer extraordinaire, and you even let me cuddle in your bed almost every night. I am a big brother, or almost twin, to Darius. You were always next to me, brother, but at the same time letting me have the limelight as rambunctious as I am. I am an older brother to my sister Sonora Rose, always just a step behind, and could you please stop growing? You're making me look bad. I am a teacher's worst nightmare. And yet also by the end of the year, a student they would never give up. I am a drive you nuts kind of backseat kid, always picking on my niece Mackenzie or instigating something in the car on the way to school. I am the middle child and the most demanding, mischievous little guy for my parents to handle. My dad says that every time he gets a little arrogant about his superior parenting skills, I remind him to remain humble because he has his work cut out for him. I am a rat breeder and an animal lover. In my Grandpa Carol's eyes, I am a top-notch farmhand and cow milker. Josiah and I work twice as hard as Grandpa at milking, but only get half as much. I am a knife collector, a fort builder, a dirt bike jumper, and a wild boy on the pony. I am a boy with too much energy, some say. But my parents have helped me to channel all that hyperactivity into becoming a sports competitor. I took second place this year in Mount Marathon Junior Race for boys of my age category. I like to cross-country ski right alongside the junior high ski team when my mom coaches, so they have someone to catch. I am a wrestler and a lover of all things competitive. You may ask what I'm doing in heaven. I'm practicing my stand-up circus moves on Grandpa John's farm horse, Sparky. Then, when she gets tired, my uncles, Rennie and James, take turns teaching me new wrestling moves. Every time I use the head and arm, but they seem to know that old trick and are teaching me new tricks now. I am a child of God, and I belong here, so please, be at peace. You can't tie me down. I am free now, and will always be wild at heart.
Welcome, and again, thank you for coming. I'm Uncle Bob, and I just want to thank you again for coming here on such a beautiful day, an incredibly beautiful day. I woke up this morning, and I looked out the window, and I saw clouds, as a 48-year-old guy sometimes will. And I have a 10-year-old son who is full of optimism. And he said to me, "No, Dad, it's going to be a great day." And sure enough, it's a beautiful day. There's something to be said about optimism in particular boys. I woke up this morning and my wife and I went over to Angie's house and Klaus's house, and as we turned down their lane, I drove and I saw Mount Redoubt right down their drive. It was spectacular against a crystal blue sky. And before I saw Mount Redoubt, I went into the living room and saw Blair, and he and Josiah were sitting on the couch, and I can only imagine looking out at the view, which is just absolutely spectacular from their living room. The morning sun was illuminating the range across the way, and it was just spectacularly beautiful. Now, I live in Eagle River, which is a beautiful place. But there is just something about this place that is spectacular. It's a little slice of heaven. It's a little bit of paradise. And I was thinking about that. And if you can multiply today by 16 times, or 32 times, or 64 times, or however many ways you cut your desserts, or your pies, or your enchiladas, multiply it by that. And I think that's what Mattie's experiencing. Today is beautiful, but it pales in comparison to where Maddie is. I just want you to think about that. Now, I've been thinking about talking about Maddie for quite some time, and I must have started 5 or 6 different angles to try to capture this little guy. And you can't do that. I told my wife this afternoon, I just said, I'm not going to talk from a prepared speech. I'm just going to let the Spirit move me, because I think that's what Maddie would want. He was Mr. Spontaneous. And he would just do things in the Maddie way, with an impish grin and a mischievous smile, and maybe even naughty intentions once in a while. Who knows? But that was Maddie. And for me to come and have prearranged words and try to categorize and classify Maddie, that's just not right. The words would go away. But one thing I do want you to think about today, when you leave, is just think of the Spirit. Think of Maddie's spirit. Not the words. It's so hard to classify anyone. But Maddie was just so Maddie. And I'm a better person for having known him. And I know you all know him in your own special way, and never let that go. Make the connection, keep the connection with the family. If you see someone or something that puts a smile on your face and makes you think of Maddie, call up Rhonda, call up Blair, call up Josiah, Deanna, and the kids. Let them know. They would appreciate it. I know they would. To kind of reflect a little bit, because pictures speak louder than words. There are many pictures that we're going to show you right now, which is in the slideshow. Just kind of a retrospective of Maddie. And just remember his spirit, remember the times that you experienced with him, and keep that alive. Thank you.